If you clicked on this video, you either watched this whole thing happening, watched the fires from afar, or you were in the middle of the shit show. This video is meant to serve as a look into what exactly happened with Cyberpunk 2077 without robbing you of 7 hours of your life. No disrespect to Drummer Boy, the creator of that video of course. His video must have taken a long time to make and he worked hard on it. This is simply a video for an audience with less time on their hands. Either way, I hope you'll learn something new, or at the very least, have fun watching this video. Of course, I'm gonna start with the promises. Let's begin. Last-gen consoles are the focus. Did you hear that, guys? Sexy, I almost can't see the pixels. We are focusing on delivering a really good experience on current-gen consoles. Fans should expect a fair offering with whatever we decide to do. This was just a straight up lie. The truth is that the last-gen consoles were holding back the game. It's hard to promise such high-quality graphics on older consoles, and the result was obvious: severe frame drops in areas with many NPCs. I'm still not sure if currently that's well optimized on PS4 since Cyberpunk was added back to the PlayStation Store. Yes, probably everyone knows it already, but in case you don't, the game was removed from PS Store due to community feedback, as they did not want to sell something faulty at that time. Just get a PS5, bro! Sure, if you can find one in stock. Let's be realistic now. The PC users had a decent experience if they owned a 20 or 30 series GPU, cause DLSS was needed, and of course, to spice things up, turn on the damn RTX, dude. Oh, I forgot. The prices. You could play the game on a 60 and 60 Super Tour, but if you pay $60 on the game that hyped you for years, you definitely want to experience the game at its best. Still, the bugs were taking away your amazing experience, cause they were many. Did I say many? I mean tons and tons of them. I want to have a special section in this video for talking about a supposedly missing feature that everyone made a big deal out of. And we are moving to the destructible tires. According to the Cyberpunk lore, the technology has advanced and these tires are more resistant than the real ones. After all, it's a sci-fi game. The only tires that we see getting destroyed are present in a cinematic, and it's a case of a moving car. I would like to avoid the nerd moment, but a high-speed moving car exerts a force, right? So does the bullet moving against it. So the impact between the two colliding forces is much more powerful than the case of a standing object. For you can say that the wheel itself exerts rotation and the bullet could be defeated from the trajectory, but keep in mind these bullets are great and futuristic, but some rating stuff happen. Someone hoping to bang my at some point, but I will switch so that it's low pitch. I mean bulletproof tires and a second to try this from as not the perfect. We enhanced the crowd and community system to create the most believable city in the open world game to date. Really now, I could not find Cyberpunk in any best open world games ranking in 2022, but do you know what game I found every time in the top 3? You guessed it, it's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. What a surprise! The world of Cyberpunk is outstandingly beautiful, but outside the main or side questline, the world seems rather lifeless with little to no interaction with the promised crowd. The NPCs were supposed to have handwritten daily routines that were unique to each and every one of them, meaning that they would have a list of tasks they do at certain times on certain days. Should I also mention that they were supposed to have their own personal behavior and mannerism? Well, instead of that, we got NPCs that appear on your screen, and once you turn around, surprise, they disappear. Other promised features include the random encounters, the weather effects, the wall running, the metro as a fast travel system, vehicle combat, and the list goes on. Do you know what personally pisses me the most? The cinematic cutscene where we get to see who's playing Johnny Silverhand for the first time. And the reason is that we do not get to play that in the actual game. A badass moment that is not being used, and let's be honest, we all want to burn down a city in a video game, of course. The E3 2018 demo presented us one-of-a-kind mission in the game with the only building that is destructible, and even there were just 2 destructible walls. As I said, that mission was completely one-of-a-kind and featured the only destructible environment in the game, and they flexed with it a lot. A way more detailed character creation menu was shown to the E3 audience with features like choosing your childhood heroes, key life events, and where you start off from. This doesn't need explaining, the footage speaks for itself. The hype was unprecedented. It literally left its mark in gaming history. I bet the psychologists and sociologists are having the time of their lives studying the hype phenomena. The game hasn't even come out yet and it already gave us studies on tons of fields. Everyone was expecting Jesus to come back and play the game with them. The game will come to your home and do your dishes, make your coffee, also fix your marriage. Waifu pillows for everyone. The game was delayed, but it's gonna be awesome. This is completely normal and it's nothing to worry about. Considering the pandemic, it's alright. We are currently at a state where the game is complete and playable, but there is still work to be done. Night City is massive, full of stories, content, and places to visit. But due to the sheer scale and complexity of it all, we need more time to finish playtesting, fixing, and polishing. We want Cyberpunk 2077 to be our crowning achievement for this generation, and postponing launch will give the precious months we need to make the game perfect. The game is delayed again, but no worries, we got new fancy trailers to watch and I'm sure they are just delaying it to deliver on every promise they made. Delayed again. Okay, this might be a bit worrisome, however they are still doing this to deliver upon best RPG ever. The game has been marked as action shooter instead of RPG on the PlayStation Network. No worries though, I'm sure it's just a mistake and nothing else. The game is now on gold. This basically guarantees that it's not going to be delayed anymore. And it's delayed again. At this point, most of the community agreed that the delayed messages with their iconic look are very much the kind of meme material people need during lockdowns. Okay, the gamers are impatient and thus the investors are insisting on releasing the game due to the insane hype and potential behind it. The game is bound to release soon. And then it happened. It was released. What more is there to be said? From time crunch employees to questionable content, accidentally genital revealing bugs, Cyberpunk 2077 was facing a lot of issues at launch. It's extremely rare that anything would live up to its hype, but Cyberpunk managed to gather so much hype that the crash and burn of the game became unavoidable by the release window. It was made by the industry's favorite developers who made the standard setter, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. As much as Cyberpunk seemed tailor-made for success, it seemed to be a surefire success. It showed everyone, gamers and developers alike, that surefire success can come out and be a shit show. The game was unfinished, unpolished, roundly criticized. The already toxic fanbase, which expected a different game than what was delivered, started harassing reviewers who offered the most minute of praise to the game. Cyberpunk has successfully proven to be the brightest shining example of failure in all of gaming history. The game had such a promise that it was inevitable that it would not live up to it. It had so many ongoing controversies all at once that many who invested in CDPR opted out and left CD Projekt Red in a state of having to cut corners on every front while taking the blunt force of the backlash. After all that happened, after we watched the city burn, one that we ourselves weren't allowed to burn, let's take a look at exactly where it all went wrong. Multiple apartments are in the game. Yeah, sure. Also, did I tell you that you can customize your cyberware? We can also have a big penis. Also, the vehicle combat and wall running are amazing, showing the parts of the game that were a one-time feature, such as the first time you go to Victor, the Reaper dock, and there is a detailed cutscene showing your implants getting, well, implanted into you, replacing your eye, etc. Making these parts cinematic and feel like they could be a part of your whole game experience is good. But they only showed parts like this to tell people that they are going to see a cutscene as detailed as that one every time they go to a Reaper dock in the game.